John Lund Unleashed presents the story of the day. Here's John.
You can see it right there. I know for the second consecutive day we are doing story of the day, and it has to do with Robert Saleh, but a crazy, crazy day makes it the story of the day. So welcome in, and there you go. There is the story of the day on your screen. Flip likely leads to Saleh reunion. You can also see right there, JNL&Unleashed.com. That is everywhere and everything to get John Lund Unleashed stuff. So you get the shows, you get the podcasts, you get the blogs, all these things. And of course, you see on the screen there, YouTube, you can subscribe to that. We do a live show every day at 8 a.m. Pacific time. That also runs on Instagram and X as well. And then, of course, those are logos for Apple and Spotify where you can get your favorite podcasts. All right, welcome in. Story of the day. We do this once a day, so we do the regular show, but then we do the story of the day. And for the second consecutive day, it has to do with Robert Saleh. I don't mean it to be, and there are a lot of other things going on. The Warriors are playing, and there's all-star stuff to talk about with Steph Curry, and it's going to be a Friday tomorrow, so we got a ton going on. But Robert Saleh and coaching in general and craziness of the coaching carousel. I could have done that better. But bottom line is this. Liam Coen, he is the offensive coordinator, was the offensive coordinator of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That is on your right-hand corner there, talking to Baker Mayfield. They have the fourth best offense in all of the league this year. And Liam Coen, when Trent Baalke, our old friend Trent Baalke, who may have done us a favor here. It's not done yet, but I'll tell you exactly where things lie as of late Thursday night. So Liam Coen says, nope, not taking the job. Don't want to work for Trent Baalke. He was the third candidate, apparently, to tell 𝐬𝐮𝐞𝐭, the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, that thanks but no thanks as that guy as my immediate boss. So, of course, as we talked about, they fired Trent Baalke a couple of weeks too late, and then they circled back to Liam Coen. And I told you, with young quarterbacks like that, we see Ben Johnson go to Chicago because he's going to coach Caleb Williams. Former number one overall pick Trevor Lawrence, as you know, out of Clemson, is there. And he hasn't quite lived up to expectations, so you would think an offensive mind would be in place. Now, not to pat myself on the back, but I told you it was about an 80% chance that Robert Saleh would be the defensive coordinator of the 49ers, because I don't think they were going to hire him, despite the fact that he was going to have a second interview, despite the fact that Liam Coen had apparently dropped out. Now, the strange thing about Liam Coen here is he didn't tell the Buccaneers any of this. He hadn't signed the contract yet. The Buccaneers had agreed to said contract, and he just hadn't gotten around to signing it. But the Buccaneers thought, we got our guy back in place and we're ready to move on. Well, he told the general manager, Jason Licht of the Buccaneers, that he was actually taking his child to the doctor and would be by to sign the contract. Little did he know, Jason Licht, the general manager of the Buccaneers, that Coen was actually on his way to Jacksonville to discuss the head coaching job there. And as of Thursday night, he's going to take the Jacksonville job. He sure as hell can't go back to Tampa Bay after lying to them. So what does that leave everything? Well, let me go back to the coaching carousel. I'm not going to do that again to you. But here are the head coaching jobs where they stand, because it's not a slam dunk quite yet, but I'd put it up to probably 95% for my original 80 on Robert Saleh coming back. So let's look at the head coaching jobs. I like that graphic. Ben Johnson goes to the Bears to work, as I said, with Caleb Williams. You know that. Dallas, they're weird, but I think that Jerry Jones, as I've often said, is going to wait to the end of this because he likes the spotlight to himself and won't hire a big-name guy. And Pete Carroll is a big-name guy, so I don't expect him to get that job. That's Brian Schottenheimer. I put those highlighted. Kellen Moore, I think those are the guys that are leaders in the clubhouse. Robert Saleh. And I'll get to something Saleh said, because if he doesn't get a head coaching job, he is going to be the defensive coordinator of the 49ers, and I'll tell you how I know that. Anyway, Saleh's in there, but I don't think he's going to be in Dallas. Jacksonville, we just said Liam Coen is going to take that job. Saleh was into that. Doesn't look like he's going to get it. Vegas is a definite wild card here, because I had told you before, if Pete Carroll got the job, maybe Saleh would be interested, but Saleh has told the 49ers if he doesn't get a head coaching job, he'll be the 49ers defensive coordinator. So does Pete Carroll get that job? Todd Monken is that name, Monken. He is the offensive coordinator of the Ravens. It helps when you have Lamar Jackson. I'm really surprised that we haven't heard more of Steve Spagnuolo in the coaching cycle this year, the super genius defensive coordinator of the Kansas City Chiefs. He was the head coach of the St. Louis Rams back in the day and didn't do too well, but I would imagine that he should get another opportunity. Just ask the 49ers. Joe Brady is Jay Brady. No relation to Tom, but he's the Bills' offensive coordinator, and he's still in things, so they can't hire him yet. Robert Saleh did have an interview with the Raiders, but I don't expect it to go anywhere. Mike Vrabel's in New England. New Orleans is kind of the lost team in this whole thing. Mike McCarthy is a name. Brian Flores is a name. Doug Peterson just got fired by Jacksonville. Brady again, and Kellen Moore again. If I had to guess, maybe down to those two offensive guys. I don't understand how McCarthy keeps getting jobs, but okay. And Brady is said to be a guy because he did coach at LSU, so he is familiar with the Big Easy, and then Aaron Glenn has the gig in New York. So that's what it looks like so far. So the reason I bring that up, or I pop that up, is does Robert Saleh have a chance at any of these jobs? He's not getting the Jacksonville gig, probably not Las Vegas. Dallas, I guess, could turn something weird. Jerry Jones does those kind of things, but I seriously doubt it. So again, according to, and the reason I say that Saleh's not going to take another defensive coordinator job, I had mentioned Detroit. He's from Dearborn, and they've got a lot of talent. So would he feel like he could get to a better head coaching job or a head coaching job or back into the cycle faster if he went to Detroit? Well, Matt Maiocco, our old pal, who we just found a couple of days ago, of course, is great, and he's super genius. And he says he's in line to be the 49ers DC, sources say, unless he ends up at the head coaching position. If he is a defensive coordinator this season, it'll be with the 49ers, he told the team. So that's why I popped up those head coaching opportunities, because I don't see one that he's going to get. No Chicago, doubtful Dallas, no Jacksonville, doubtful Vegas, not New England, not the Jets, and I haven't heard his name with New Orleans. So it looks like Robert Saleh is going to be the defensive coordinator of the 49ers, possibly dotting I's, crossing T's. But again, you don't need breaking news, because I told you that days ago that he wasn't going to get one of these gigs, and he probably would be back. So that is what's going on with Robert Saleh. As I said, Matt Maiocco is a pretty darn good source, and if he's going to be a DC, it's going to be with the 49ers. So no Lions or anything like that. Now, this is really cool. I'm going to show you something here in the story of the day, because these guys do a great job. SF Data Niners, at SF Data Niners. Now, you can see Robert Saleh's, the higher you are up. Let's just simplify this thing on this EPA here. The lower your worst defense, the worse your defense is. The higher, the better your defense is. Mendoza line is So with the 2021 Jets, he wasn't very good. 17 and 18 49ers, they didn't have a whole lot of talent. Say it with me. I've never met a coach that didn't have good talent. We talk about it on the show all the time. And Robert Saleh in 17 and 18 didn't have good talent. And clearly with the 21 Jets, because he is good at what he does. So you look at the 22 and 23 Jets, and even before the 5 games, if you put in the 24 Jets, Saleh had a good defense there. So for most of the time in New York, he had good defenses. When he got decent talent, he had good defenses. And in 2019, you can see that there at the top, where it says good run D, good pass D. They happened to go to the Super Bowl that year. So that's Robert Saleh's resume on a chart. Now, another interesting one that my friends at SF Data Niners put together that I really like is this one. Now, check this out. He says all 4 years under Vic Fangio, these are defensive coordinators of the 49ers since 2011. So you see Vic Fangio there. You see Saleh there. You see DeMeco Ryans there. You see Steve Wilks. You see our old friend who just got let go 2024. You see that down to the left side in Nick Sorensen. So look at the bottom. That's not good. That's 17 and 18. Saleh, not great. You see 24, Nick Sorensen, not great. You see DeMeco in 21, not great. Saleh in 20, better. And then you see Steve Wilks, not bad, 2023, and still Saleh in 2019, the best. And you see 2022 with DeMeco, pretty darn good. But look at Vic Fangio up there. All of his defense above average. As you can see, 11 was best, 12 and 13, not bad, and 14 pretty good as well. So that's a pretty good defensive efficiency chart by the guys at SF Data Niners. As you can see, bottom Saleh 8, 17, and 18. So the only reason I popped that up there is Robert Saleh is a really good defensive coordinator. And it'll really, one of the things I would be excited about as a 49ers fan, let me pop that off, but you can understand, you can see those great charts that the guys do there. So give those guys a follow. But if you don't have the talent, we say this on the show all the time. If you don't have the talent, you're not such a great coach. All of a sudden you get great talent, you're a pretty darn good coach. So the 49ers have to solve some issues. It's great to have Robert Saleh in, And we've said the whole time, please let it be Robert Saleh. Please let it be Robert Saleh. So it's going to be, it looks like, Robert Saleh, as I told you the whole time. But the defensive interior, the defensive line, Robert Saleh is not going to make a tackle. Kris Kocurek is going to stay around. There's continuity. Kyle can completely concentrate on the offense, which is a great bonus in this whole thing. He is not going to have to look over Nick Sorensen's shoulder or anybody's shoulder. And we also aren't going to get the guy that we didn't want in this whole situation and everybody was angry about, and me and John Middlecoff went on the other day. So you've got Robert Saleh back, and that's the guy you want. But it's about the talent. Can they get interior defensive linemen? Can they get more across from Nick Bosa? Is Dre Greenlaw going to come back? Will he come back on a make-good one-year deal? Because I've heard people already say, well, Saleh's coming back. That means Greenlaw is going to come back. It's a business. And so if Dre Greenlaw comes back, it's going to be on a one-year make-good deal. If he gets a multi-year offer somewhere else, then he probably leaves. But if it's Saleh had gone to another team, maybe he would have tried to take Dre Greenlaw on a multi-year deal. So it makes it a little bit more likely that Dre comes back. Hopefully Fred Warner's is healthy, and then you got a young secondary. So Robert Saleh is a great defensive coordinator. I'm not saying he's not, but he's got to have talent, and it shows in the 17 and 18 chart when he didn't have talent that it's not just Robert Saleh coming in here and waving a magic wand and they're going to be great. Because as I said, 17 and 18, not great. 19, they go to the Super Bowl. He's great. 20, they're above average. And then you see with the Jets, 22, 23, and even part of 24, Saleh was really good. Saleh's defense was really good. But, again, they had a lot of talent on there. Quentin Williams and the linebackers are really solid. They've got that. They had some guys on that defense. So you got to have the players. But you can see the majority of the time, Robert Saleh does a pretty good job with the defense. So that is the Robert Saleh side of things. Now, real quickly, because the story of the day is Robert Saleh likely returning to the 49ers. But also let me give you this, again, from our friend, Matt Maiocco. And if you miss Matt Maiocco, just go to my page, John Lund Unleashed Pod, and you can hear the conversation that Matty and I had the other day. As Matty says here, the 49ers interviewed a man named Brent Boer for the special teams coordinator opening. Served as a special teams coordinator since 2016 with the Jets. It will not be Nick Sorensen. He's not expected to remain with the team. So you're asking yourself, who is Brent Boer and why do I care? Glad you asked. Let's look at another chart, shall we? I do have a chart here after all. Thanks again to our good friends at SF Data Niners. And this is expected points on special teams. As you can see, the Steelers were very good at plus 56 points. The 49ers were very bad, and you know that, at minus 63.8. So that's why the Brian Schneider, the special teams coordinator of the 49ers, is long gone. But if you look up where the Jets are, about 23rd at minus 10.5. It's not great. Now, look, if you're the special teams coordinator of those top teams, the Steelers, the Patriots, the Lions, you're not going to let that guy go anyway. I guess my main complaint is if you see the fourth best team there, that's the Dallas Cowboys at plus 27.3 and expected points on special teams. That's Bones Fossil. He was let go along with the whole regime, the coaching staff with the Cowboys. He was available and he went to the Tennessee Titans. And I don't know why the 49ers didn't try to hire him, but they didn't. So he was the head of the fourth best special teams unit. He was available. 49ers didn't get him. The Titans quickly snapped him up. So will they be better on special teams if it's Brent Boer? The Jets were 23rd. So minus 63.8 versus minus 10.5. It's certainly an improvement. So there you go. That is a little special teams bonus on the story of the day. And again, the story of the day, it looks like that's Brent Boer there. It looks like Robert Saleh is going to be the defensive coordinator. There you go. They're jumping the gun just a tiny bit, but I don't think, as I told you, as we go back to the coaching carousel quickly, I don't think that Robert Saleh is going to get one of those jobs. So there you go. That is the story of the day, the crazy flip. Going back to Jacksonville, open head coaching jobs we went through. Saleh tells the 49ers if it's a DC job, he'll take it with San Francisco. Saleh by the numbers I gave you, and even a little bonus special teams news. And that is your story of the day. John Lund Unleashed. Make sure that you're subscribing to the YouTube channel, John Lund Unleashed Pod. Check us out every day at 8 a.m. live on YouTube, John Lund Unleashed Pod. Check us there, YouTube, X, and Instagram every day at 8 a.m. And, of course, we give you shorts throughout the day, breaking news, post-game shows when we need them, and the story of the day, which today is Robert Saleh. Looks like he's going to be the defensive coordinator of the 49ers. And for Wednesday, January 23rd, that is your story of the day.